So, we have a furry guest today. Her name is Gladys and she's a piggy, right? Just stay here, okay? So hello everyone, I'm really excited to see you all again today to celebrate my 2-year anniversary on Instagram. That's so crazy. I had no idea I would become this big on Instagram. Well, I guess I'm not that big, I'm only, 17? She almost fell over. What are you doing? You suicidal piggy. You made mommy scared. No, stay there. I'm gonna put you in the background so I can watch you. You can see her running away. You're a bad piggy. You're giving mommy heart attacks. What are you doing? I should maybe put her on the floor. Yeah, that was not a good idea. Okay. Goodbye, Gladys. It's not gonna work out. You're too noisy for my videos. I wish you could have stayed, but no. I guess no animals in today's Q&A. So welcome back. Gladys is safe in her cage. I'm sorry for that. I asked you to leave me questions for this Q&A so we could celebrate my 2-year anniversary on Instagram all together. And so I could answer a few questions. There were quite a few questions because I'm so popular. No, there were a few questions. So I decided to only answer the nine questions that had more than 10 likes. So that's how I chose. So Tiana Storm asked, how did you first find out about self-harm? Love your account. Thank you. I was thinking about that the other day and I'm not really sure when I first found out that self-harm was a thing. I think it was when I was maybe 12. I encountered someone who had dealt with self-harm. So I was doing a Christian camp, and one of the camp counselor, is that how you say it? Just people running the camp. We became very good friends. We would just spend a lot of time together, and I'm pretty sure he was the first person I knew who dealt with self-harm, and I'm pretty sure that's the first encounter I had with self-harm. Fun fact is that it was a guy. A lot of people who deal with self-harm are women. Some of my 2 first encounters with people dealing with self-harm were men. So yeah, fun fact for you. So I'm not gonna pronounce this username. So they asked, when did you find out that you have to care about this theme and that it is so important? Did you have friends who self-harm, or did you? Love your account, you seem like so nice person. Thank you. I don't know if I'm a nice person, I hope so. When did I find out I had to care about this theme? Was it because a friend of mine self-harmed, or was it because I self-harmed? Well, it was because I self-harmed. I was dealing with self-harm and I was just stoked by just how few resources there were on it, how few books, how few resources there were on self-harm, and I was like, that's not right. I have to do what I can to fix that. So I started an Instagram account. That's not much, I guess. I did what I could. So yeah, the Tier project asked, who or what would you want to be if you had not learned about mental health like before you knew? So if I look at my childhood dreams or just what I wanted to do when I was a kid, when I was a teenager or stuff like that, it was always something to do with social work, which is what I'm learning right now, what I'm studying for just right now. So I guess I wouldn't be doing something completely different. I wouldn't be like, I don't know, a chef or a fashion designer or anything like that. I would still do social work. But maybe I would do a different kind of social work. I would maybe do something involving religion more. If you want to know about my personal journey with faith, Christianity, and can tell me, I might do an entire video about that. But yes, just to sum up the point, I think I would just still do the same thing. Pretty little smiles. Hello, I know you've been following me for a while. So she's telling us, can you tell us a bit about how your mental health affects you? I'm curious because I've recently learned about schemers and want to know about other people. Again, I could do an entire video about that. It's really hard to just sum up in an answer of less than 10 minutes. But basically, I'm in a point where my mental health is in a very, very good state. I go to school every day, I work, I do videos, I do great at school. My mental health is really not something that impairs my daily life, and I'm really glad. The only effects to my daily life that I could see was the fact that I just have to take medication every day, which takes like 30 seconds out of my days to have just a good life. I don't have any side effect from my medication. So yeah, that's the only way it impacts me daily. It's that I take medication, which is really not a big deal. It's a great medication that works well for me. And the other thing I could think about is that I don't drink alcohol because I developed a drug phobia. So not like pharmaceutical drug, but any other drugs. It just freaks me out, so I don't drink. And I am afraid of being around people who drink, so that's the only really impact my mental health has on my daily life. It's that I don't go partying. So just another ring bearer asked, what would you advise for people with the baby cut syndrome? So, if you didn't know, baby cut syndrome is just, it's a term I came up with. It's not like an official term or anything. It's just a term I invented. I could do an entire video about that. Please tell me if you want to see it. I probably will do it at some point. But basically, baby cut syndrome is what I've observed in myself and others when you never feel like the way you're harming yourself is enough. You never feel like you're satisfied with what you're doing. You think your wounds are pathetic and you feel very envious of people with bigger wounds, basically. So if you want an answer to that, I would do an entire video. So, Trying to Survive asked, when was the first time you self-harmed? I started self-harming when I was 14. I've been clean for a very long time now, so yeah, but I was 14. Meg7877 asked, how did you learn to control the impulse? So I guess you were saying the impulse to self-harm. That's a good question. So as I've said, I've been clean for a very long time now, so that's not something I'm dealing with on a daily basis, but I think the two biggest contributors to specifically controlling the urge has been my medication, because it just gives me stable platform to build my life on. Doesn't make any sense, but you see what I'm trying to say. It just helps my mood not be super low. The second thing that really helped me was just being in a position where I didn't have a choice to control my impulse, because if I did, my parents would find out. That was very distressing for them. That would always cause not fights, but just not a nice moment. And that's, I started to really dread these moments where they just found out that I had relapsed, or that I had hurt myself, I guess. And yeah, that was a huge contributor to just stopping. Was like, I don't want these moments anymore. I don't want to have to hide all the time. Abyssinthum asked, what do you think about the people who are jealous of people with a lot of scars? How can we fix it? So, to me that just ties back to what I was talking about with the baby cut syndrome. I've realized that it was a very common feeling in people just dealing with self-harm, being jealous that other people can hurt themselves better than you think you can hurt yourself. If there are any non-self-harmers watching now who've never dealt with this, I think I can imagine that it just seems very crazy to you. Why would people I feel competitive about that. That doesn't make any sense, but actually it's quite common. I'm not entirely sure why it's there, but yeah, there you go, it's there. I always do comparisons with eating disorders. I don't know why, but I think they have a lot in common with self-harm. But I think we can all understand someone dealing with anorexia, so just with the want of being extremely thin, and they will compare themselves and they will feel good if they are thinner than someone else. So yeah, I guess it's just the same mechanism, but it's less talked about in self-harm, if that makes any sense. I hope I made sense. If you wanted an answer on how you can fix this, I will do a video on this baby cut syndrome and I will answer your question. Nana Erman, is that how you pronounce it, is asking, do you think schools should educate students about mental health problems? Hell yeah! Of course, hell yeah! I heard that about a quarter of the population is dealing with mental health issues. Why are we not teaching that to kids? You know, education is the key to a lot of problems. If you educate people, they can better understand, they can better act. Where I went to school, we had sex ed, so sexual education, which is a very great thing. We had dental checkups every year, I think, when I was in school. We had a road prevention, I guess, when we were a bit older. And I think some of us had like dog education, like how to act with a dog. No mental health teaching, nothing. That's actually a thing I would really, really want to do in my lifetime, is just create some mental health school education system thing. I think just in general, at least in Switzerland, the school is very, very focused on academics, you understand what I want to say. Also your grades, if you did well, stuff like that. And I think just in general we should take more time to educate kids about other things like LGBT issues or like mental health issues that so many teenagers go through them. Why aren't we talking about that? Well, I guess it's because of money, you know. Even stuff like diabetes or heart disease or obesity. We should talk about these things, you know. School is just such a great tool. Why aren't we using it more for other things than just academics? So I'm just gonna answer 2 more questions that had less than 10 likes, but I just wanted to answer them. I just picked them like that. So thanks Pete. Hi, thanks Pete. Is asking, do you like any bands? My favorite is My Chemical Romance. So, just so you get to know me a bit more. So, I'm a very, very big metalhead. So, I love LUVC, which is a Swiss band. I love Marilyn Manson. I'm a very, very big fan. I need to go to one of his concerts one day. Behemoth, I really like. I really like black metal and death metal. These are the bands I like. Eminem, I love Eminem. That's not black metal, but I like Eminem. So I guess I'm gonna stop here because it's already quite long. So thank you so much to everyone. I'm just so glad I could make a video to celebrate my 2-year anniversary on Instagram. I never thought I would just stay on Instagram for this long. At the beginning, I just wanted to post a few things and stop. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone. You're making one of my dreams possible, and I hope I can be there in a year and do another Q&A to celebrate 1 more year. So yeah, so if you have any video requests, you can post a comment and just ask me. You can go check my Instagram page. It's gonna be linked in the description. It's always linked in the description. So yeah, until the next time, guys, please stay safe, get help, and don't be afraid of being who you are.
Shut up and sit down.